Right, guys, so it's all down to this. Last game of the season, and still everything to play for. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Scandinavian Getaway with me, GWFM. We're on episode 8 of Club 3, which is
you silly
Finnsnes. And yes, it's the last game of the season, and 1 point ahead of Fredrikstad. That's the difference. It's either going to be automatic promotion, or it's going to be playoffs. I really hope it's automatic promotion, i.e. champions of the world, of course. But yeah, it's been a very interesting season. I'm going to show you how we've got to this point here. You can see here who has been the best player of the season, pretty much. I can't see him throwing it away now unless he gets an absolutely dreadful score in terms of the average rating. That's just on the side note. The main thing is winning the league, which, like I said, let's have a look at the results. And yeah, when you last joined us, it was against Alter. No, it wasn't. It was against Lynn. And yeah, we won that game 2-1. We've had the 2 games in between, which we've managed to win both of them 3-1 and 1-0 respectively against San Football and Harstad. Harstad, that was more one-sided than what you'd ever imagine. I could feel an FM moment coming on. I got a couple of injuries in this game. I think they're going to be just about fit for this game. I think they're about a week on with the injuries. But yeah, Brattvag, or Brattvag, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, it's all down to them. Just on a side note, Fredrikstad have got Strindheim, who are in the 11th position. So, and I don't know if you noticed already, the actual league has been decided in terms of who's going down, at, the bottom of the table. So Strindheim have got nothing to play for. I have got I've got Brattvag, who are 5th, and they've got nothing to play for as well. But they've got pride of finishing 3rd if needs be. So let's just get into it, shall we? Right, so here we go, the last game of the season. We're lining up with a standard 4-4-2 with advanced wingers. It's going to be, as you can see, Brathen in net with Eriksson, the murderous bastard, at right back. Mikkelsen at left back with Hilmarsson alongside Skoggy in the middle of the defence. We've got Johnson alongside Falk, Rakionen on the left, Hoff on the right, and Nordheim continuing with Simonson. Simonson obviously leading the way in terms of goal scoring charts. They're lining up with a 4-4-1-1. Some guy with a massive jaw. Massive jaw. That's like a crimson chin jaw. It's huge. It's like David Wheater. But yeah, we're going to get into it now. See how we get on. His chin is scaring me somewhat, but I'm hoping we can get a decent result. Did they beat us last time? I don't think they have. But I think the only thing I really can say is, is come on, lads. Win this one for the fans and seal the title for us. They've really reacted well there. Said no one ever. A little bit of assertive faith. That's a lot better reading. Let's get into today's game. Let's go to the tunnel first, because it's a lot of shit. Right, so the nerves are starting to come up now. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a drink. Nice little bit of Brumaretti there. I don't know if you can see. You could probably see through somewhat because it's like a dodgy colour. But yeah, it's snowing as well, which doesn't help. We've got a highlight after a minute. Hopefully we're going to go ahead. Eriksson can float this in. Rakionen, get it, boys! And I don't really know what that was all about, but get in. Right, so all we have to do is hold on to this lead, really. But are we going to get a second? He's offside. No, let's chill. Chill out a little bit. It's not all done yet. Right, here we go. Dahl for them. Plays it for Mikkelsen with a decent foul / tackle. Apparently it was a tackle. But here's Nordheim. He's kind of in behind. Now he's been forced wide. What can he do now? He needs support. Finds the Hoff. Can he put plastic square? He can. Simonson is denied by Holm with an exceptional save, it has to be said. The corner comes in, comes out. Simonson hits it, son. He does. It's over the bar. I've just demanded more. There's a corner free kick getting played in. Eriksson takes an age to decide he wants to go for the ball. He's there now, just about. Nice first time ball. Nordheim. Oh, Holm does that. That's basically what he did. Corner comes in. It's headed away. Comes out to Johnson. And now it's Frivold forward to Dahl. Gritten, him with a massive chin. He's forced wide. His chin's still in the box though. It's cleared away now. Rakionen, never mind. I'm sure. Fantov. I thought it said Flintov. I thought we were on about up against Flintov. Freddie Flintov. Ball is played in. It's collected by Holm. Or Holm. It's only one L, so who knows. He's hoofed it long towards Skoggy. Well, is that not aim for Skoggy? Skoggy's just got there. Simonsen now plays it in. Nordheim in off the post in 2-0. Come on, boys. Let's get this title. This would be the second title because we got last time we won a playoff with Husqvarna. Hopefully, we're on our way now to a second title as we skip this highlight. What can I say, boys? Except for, you know, I'm very happy, which obviously I'm not going to say that because that would probably be a recipe for disaster. Then again, I've had this happen when I've had a full sea of green and I still end up losing. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 2-0 up, can't be happier. We've got to see it through now, boys. All we have to do is hold on to this lead, and that's it. We're champions. They've had a lot of chances, but not a single one has been shown as a highlight. As the Hoff gets it, I don't know why he decided to turn his back to goal there when he had all the goal to aim for, it seemed. But never mind. Here's Johnson. Finds Mikkelsen. Long punt is intercepted. Unfortunately, Skoggy is there because he anticipated it well. And the Hoff finds Falk. Falk finds Nordheim. He's not offside. Get in, boys. Title coming our way with the cup. There we go. It's coming. I can smell it. Smell the cup. It's coming our way. Hoff there. Squared it. Somehow didn't get tackled. Don't know how. But Falk found Nordheim. First time volley. And yeah, great finish. That's an instant highlight. Please be 4. Please be 4. If they get a goal back, my ass will start twitching. It'll go from this size to this size in terms of, like, you know, the whole. I didn't actually see what's going on there, but it looks like it's been cleared away, but the chance hasn't gone just yet. Beta, I think it was called. Frivold finds Stolen. Is he actually called Stolen? Right, another chance perhaps for Brattvag. We're going to go down to 10 men, it seems, because Johnson's going to get kissed by the referee, and then he's going to raise his hand with a red card. Legend. Right, so I was just about to say concentrate, but the highlights come on. I have brought on Kjær on for the top scorer, but I can't see him losing out on the top scorer, you know, trophy. So that's why I've decided to take him off instead of Nordheim. Plus Nordheim is playing an 8.8, so that's definitely got something to do with my decision. Anyway, they look like they're going to score. No, Kjær's going to absolutely destroy Frivold, but he's not going to like fall on the floor because I think that must be a graphic problem because he should have done with that challenge, but never mind. But they're still on the ball, and Beta is going to find Frivold again and finds Gritten with a massive chin and puts it wide. Chin got in the way. Right, so I've just brought on Sander and Falk. Well, Sander about 10 minutes ago for Falk, and I've just brought on Takoi for Eriksson, the murderous bastard. So, it's a little bit of change of personnel. It's the best through ball of all time. They're going to score, make my ass start twitching. It's not very good. Let's get concentrated, son. So I don't know if you can see it at the top, but it says Fredrikstad are winning 4-0 as well. So they did their job. They like committed to their end of the bargain. We're going to miss a shot narrowly, but surely now we're not going to concede 2 goals, and we're going to go up as fucking champions. We're going up as fucking champions. We're going up as fucking champions. Not without a couple of scares though on the way. Come on, ref, blow up. It's 95 minutes, and it should be 94. Cheers. Yeah. Get in, boys. Come on. Buzzing my absolute tits off. Just, you know, not partial tits. I don't know. Anyway, fantastic performance. Passionate. Congratulations, lads. Enjoy these moments. Savour them. And you know what? Rune Nordheim, you have been a beast in this game. I'm very happy with your performance. You're fired up for the next game, which is probably in about 8 months' time. It feels like anyway in this like part of the world. The pre-season, man, it takes like 11 weeks. You know, like English divisions, it's like 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. Here, it's like 11 weeks. You're thinking, how many friendlies do I need to play? How many friendlies do I need to organise? Because at the end of the day, I did 1 a week, and then the assistant manager decided to put like the midweek on Mondays and Thursdays and Tuesdays, etc. That is a hell of a lot of games. 17 friendlies we played. So any advice on when to actually do the friendlies? Am I starting them too early in January, or should I start them like sometime like in February or something like that? I don't know. Let us know what you think. But there it is. Finnsnes IL win PostNord Ligaen, whatever. But yeah, 7-1, the highlight of the game, obviously. Roy Simonsen, 7.55 average rating. Absolute beast being a youngster who started off with, if you remember, when I took over this team, averaged 4 point odd in the last 5 games. How I've just, you know, turned him round individually. I mean, that's, you know, it's just beast mode, isn't it, really? But anyway, let's have a look and see the roundup of all the team, basically, shall we? But just before that, the budgets. don't think they're that good. Let's have a quick look. Oh, I stand corrected. We were on about 600 quid left over wage budget, and we had a transfer budget of about 8 grand. So we have had a bit of an increase there. Not tons of money, but yeah. The only thing I want to say is we're trying to sign these 2 players. In fact, we are signing them. I think you remember seeing this one before. Yeah, just because his balanced personality. This guy is an actual vast improvement on our right back situation, in my opinion. Eriksson is a utility man. I can play him anywhere, basically, and he will definitely be sticking around. But this guy, I thought, quite quick off the mark. Tackling was decent. Crossing, not bad. Mental is okay. Mentals are okay. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of an improvement. 28 years old, of course. But yeah, otherwise, let's have a look at how the team have done this season. So in terms of the most apps, it's led the way by Kim Brathen. This is him here. As you can see, he's showing some improvement. Only 21 years old. Skoggy, 28 appearances next. Missed a couple of games, I think, through suspension. A couple of yellow cards. Vegard Eriksson was next with 27 appearances, one off the bench. Very solid performer. As you can see, in terms of the right-back position, you can see why the other one's decent. He's better technically and a little bit quicker as well. But like I said, Eriksson, there's no one comes close, I don't think, in terms of mentals, apart from his anticipation. But yeah. Next up was Roy Simonson, 25 appearances with 2 off the bench, 28 goals. That's some return is that. Mikkelsen, I'm going to try all my might to sign him because he has been absolutely class this season. Yeah, 24 appearances from him. And then finally, Sander Hilmarsson, who obviously has done very, very well himself, just averaging less than a 7. But yeah, he's made quite a lot of appearances. And why I've gone to 6, I have no idea, but I did like the look of him being included in that list at that moment in time. Top goal scorer, of course, is Roy Simonson, as I mentioned before, followed by Nordheim, who picked up 2 in the last game, as you just saw. Simonson got 11. He started off very, very well. Very, very well in terms of it. Made me make him sign a new contract instead of being on a non-contract, and now he just seemed to stop performing. So, because, as you can see there, 6.76. So, yeah, a little bit regretful that I've made him sign another contract because he's here for another year afterwards as well, which is a pain in the dick. But it might be useful off the bench maybe next season. Kenneth Räikkönen is next. I wanted to say Kimi Räikkönen. It's actually Kenneth Räikkönen. He's been a revelation really this season. 20-year-old. I signed him at the beginning of the season. Didn't think it was that good. I thought it was going to be a decent prospect, but he's actually done very, very well. It's not the quickest, fairly quick off the mark, but not overall. But I can see him only improving further, if I'm honest with you, on the left-hand side. Berg Pedersen scored 4 goals before he picked up quite a long-term injury. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see much more of him. Well, we are, because he's going to be here next season, as I just glance up at the date. But yeah, if he's had a bad injury, usually it means that their ability just drops massive. That English is impeccable, I have to say. In terms of the assists, there's only really 5 or 6 players that have really actually contributed, really. And one of them is Rune Nordheim, 12 assists from a striker. Not a bad return, really. He's been involved in 25 of the goals. Roy Simonson more so with 37 of the goals. Then the Hoff getting 9 assists, which I didn't think was bad, really, to say that he wasn't all that. It seemed all he was pace, as you can see here. But yeah, he's actually pacing up to 17, starting on 15 at the beginning of the season, so I'm quite chuffed with that. Ars picked up 7, was very inconsistent, it has to be said. But average of 7, so I can't really say that too much. And then Jonas Simonson, like I said before, in the short space of time early on in the season, picked up 6 assists as well. In terms of the top performers, we've got Roy Simonson, as mentioned, 7.57, followed by Johnson, the defensive midfielder, 7.34. Only 10 appearances, mind. He had a lot of time out injured, but still very impressive when he was on the field. Rune Nordheim with a 7.32. Jonas Simonson, again early on, causing himself to get a 7.29 average rating. And then Vegard Eriksson, which is why he's going to be sticking around, with a 7.19 average rating. Absolute beast, that guy. In terms of people out of contract who could be leaving, there's obviously a couple of players that are on loan. I'm going to try and sign the Hoff and Mikkelsen if I can, because I think at the moment, if I try it now... Ooh, that is quite nice. However, I do think this might have happened already, and his wage demands are ridiculous. I'll have to wait and see. I'll have to play it by ear. But otherwise, Marcus Rolanson, who did alright for us, he didn't really feature that much this season. Well, 2 appearances says it all. Played more like back end of last season when we started to pick up a little bit of form. It was too little too late. He's going to be leaving the door. He's 32 years old. He is massively on the decline now. His pace is now 6. I think it was at 9 at the start of the season. Lil Sterner, I just didn't think he was quick enough, really. I liked his technicals, but that was about it. And hasn't featured at all this season. So he's definitely going to be out of the door. Sundgaard didn't do that well. Made 3 starts, 5 off the bench. With those attributes, I expected a lot better. Unfortunately, it was shite. But everyone else has signed on at least for another year, so I'm very happy to keep them around. And one final check at the final position. As you can see, the table is there, 56 points. Fredrikstad with 55. We scored more goals than them. We did actually lose more than Fredrikstad, but they drew too many, and that is where that's where it's cost them. However, they could still come up with us through the playoffs. Top scorer, of course, Roy Simonson. That guy did get 1 more goal, but it was nowhere near enough to take the golden boot off him. Roy Simonson and Rune Nordheim sneaking in there. I can't remember seeing him there before, but they're in the top 3. Obviously, Roy Simonson top with 7.55. Rune Nordheim got 11 assists. Simonson, joint player of the match, has 5 of them. Clean sheets, and De Silva didn't get a clean sheet against us, did he? Because he didn't play. That's why. Because it was someone else played, didn't they? Holgarth or no, Holland played against us. Having a look as to why we've been successful, our possession is not really. It's not really been a possession-based tactic this season, which it never has. Generally, it does seem to do quite well in terms of possession, but 48.08 says otherwise. We did finish first. Second place, of course, dominated by Fredrikstad. In terms of chances created, though, we lead the way by quite some distance, in my opinion. I mean, to be fair, what a poor season it's been for Nybergsund. 39 chances created. That is it. All season in 26 games. That's like averaging like 1.5 a game. That's ridiculously bad. But, you know, what can I say? You know, 150 chances, New says 112. That's a 38 difference in terms of that. So while we're playing this tactic, we are creating chances. So I'm quite buoyed, and hopefully we can take that form into next season. It'll be very interesting to see how we get on. In terms of attendances, I think that last season it was lower than this. However, we have been performing well. Well, we were performing shit last season. So getting the fans back, it obviously generates the income. That's the main thing. The stadium holds quite a bit, if I'm honest with you. But I can't remember exactly what it is. But I know it's more than 356. So hopefully we can start to garner some more income, fingers crossed, going forward. In terms of the salary, ours is the second highest. But my God, look at the difference between us and Fredrikstad. Shows how well we've actually done. Right, so that is it, guys. I think that's a very good point to end this the season here. I think now we go into next season. We see how we start off. I think we've got to keep an eye on jobs in other countries that we haven't been to so far. But hopefully you can join us for next season. I'm kind of buzzing. I'm kind of buoyed because we've actually done something great. We actually won a title, and it's going to be interesting to see what challenge lies ahead. I mean, in terms of the jobs. Have a quick look. I mean, there's a job in Iceland here. Pepsi Dieldin. That's a top division, I believe. Finished 10th out of 12 teams. I've just had a quick look. They haven't been relegated unless the season is still going. Let's have another check. No, the season has actually finished. So, yeah, it's there's a few things to do. Obviously, I've been to Faroe Islands, so that's something to think about. I've got to go to Finland as well. The Konen, I believe, is a second division. Have a quick look. It is indeed the Vikausliga. That's the top division. I've got to go to Finland. I've got to go to Iceland, and I've got to go to Denmark. So I'm thinking next season we'll see how we get on to start off with. Just try and see, because our reputation, I don't know if it'll all gone up just yet. Let's have a quick gander. Here we go. I was on 35%. It's gone up to 40. So there we go. That's attributes as well, as you can see them in all the glory. 40%, so who knows? We're actually at 2-star now. We might actually be able to get some better jobs. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's very exciting. Moving on, I'm getting closer to the goal of winning 6 trophies. I've got 3 out of the 6, well, top league titles. I'd like to win a cup if I could, but that's the aim. It's to win silverware at least every season or something like that. But obviously, I've had a couple of relegations in there, so less said about that, the better. But hopefully, you can join us for the next one. And until then, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.